Welcome to another episode of Creole Luxe Royal Conversations. Here at Creole Luxe Royal Conversations, our podcast is dedicated to having notable people who make an impact on the community and to the world. This episode, we have a local artist and writer who has dedicated his life to a number of things in the community. First, I want you to introduce yourself.
Well, thank you for having me. My name is Marcellus Hudson. I'm a filmmaker and actor, writer, director from Trinity Gardens, Alabama.
Sounds good. So have you lived here all your life?
No, I haven't. So I was born in Mobile, and then when I was 6 years old, I actually moved to Germany. I stayed there for a couple of years, then I moved to Texas. Then I moved back to Mobile when I was about 13 years old.
Okay, sounds good. So how did your experiences living outside of Mobile and returning at the age of, you say 13?
Yes, sir.
How did that shape and impact your life?
It made a big difference. I noticed that when I left my friends and the people that I knew, just being in a different environment, seeing different things, we kind of grew up different. And so it just changed my perspective of the world, changed my perspective of people. And so, yeah, it really just changed my whole point of view, just changed everything.
Okay. Notably, you are into music and you have an artistic beginning.
Definitely.
So, how did you first get involved into, let's say, rapping and music in itself?
Well, I remember I actually fell in love with music. Probably the first time I fell in love with music. My stepfather, he actually had a big, you remember the old CD cases?
I do.
And so he had all the CDs, everything from Juvenile to Anita Baker to Michael Jackson, Prince. So and he had an awesome, amazing studio of stereos. So I just love just going in there. I just take a CD, I put it in stereo, and I just listen to all the music, all different kind of music. And that's when I actually just fell in love with music.
Awesome. So tell us about what were the pivotal moments and influences that led you down that path, other than what you just mentioned.
Music, just try to express myself. I just try to find some kind of positive way to express myself, release anger. So when I was growing up, I know one of my rappers that I used to listen to that actually got me started wanting to be a rapper was Eminem. Even though I didn't relate to the topics and the things that he was going through, I kind of just focused on so I used to just rap his songs, stream it loud. You know, some of the songs he'd be streaming. I just do that. It just made me feel better. So I was like, wow, so this is a way, like an outlet that I can use. Instead of doing something negative, I could just put it in the music, and it's a positive outlet, and that's why I started.
Encouraging. Now, listening to some of your music, and we've done a little, checking, and we love what you're doing. So your music, it often reflects deep faith and commitment to the community. So how did these experiences, especially in Trinity Gardens, where you're from, how did it shape your lyrical themes and messages?
Really, I wanted to focus on just empowering my community, empowering the people. And so the themes that I usually rap about is just about empowering people, educating people, as well as explaining my faith and where I'm currently at, in my life. So I try to be as realistic as possible. I try not to sugarcoat that much, because I feel like once you sugarcoat things, it kind of misrepresents. It gives a misrepresentation of who you really are.
I agree.
So I just feel like to be as real as possible and just explain what I've seen, where I've come from, and where I've been.
Sounds good. Now, we do notice that you are working on a very important project.
Yes.
Gammon. How do we say it? Gammon or Gammon?
Gammon.
The interactive film.
Definitely.
Okay. This is a unique project, and being an interactive film where viewers can choose the outcome and the lead character, that's different, that's important. What inspired this innovative approach to the storytelling of this movie?
Well, before I was a researcher for a university here for about maybe 8 years, almost a decade. So we were doing participatory research. So what that is actually just getting people in the community involved in the actual research process itself. Instead of having a university come in the neighborhood and just do their research without involving anybody in the community. And so that just taught me the importance of actually involving people
Okay.
in things. So I was like, I wanted to take that approach pretty much with everything that I do, especially movies. So I was like, what kind of way can we involve the viewers to actually make decisions and change the outcome of the movies? So that really pretty much motivated me to just try to see, okay, well, let's do a choose your own adventure. And then back in the day, I had those choose your own adventure books where you could pick different things and tell you to go to this page and go to this page.
I remember.
And so I was like, that'd be awesome if we could do that with film. And so that what made me try to do that.
That's very impressive. And you're filming in Trinity Gardens, correct? Some of it?
Majority, I say probably like 95% is going to be in Trinity Gardens.
Okay, that's the neighborhood where you grew up, which is it must be a personal experience for you. Tell me this: how does this setting influence the narrative and set the tone for Gammon?
Well, it pretty much is like the core of what the movie's about, because all the movies that I liked before, all the so-called gangster crime movies,
right?
We rarely see movies like that in the South. They really like in New York or LA or California. So I was like, I always wanted to make a movie in the South. Show how we live and the things that we go through as well.
Exactly.
So having it in Trinity Gardens is dear to my heart, and is actually I really just want to empower the people in the community and get them involved as well. To show that, hopefully it might be like a place where people come film their own movies,
Sounds good.
Yeah, so that's the goal.
Okay, very high caliber there. This being your first feature film and taking on multiple roles, which you are in the film, including starring in it and acting and writing and directing, everything that you're doing, how do you manage all the challenges and pressures that come along with that?
Well, to be honest, I'm really still trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
It's a lot, but I have a great support system. I have great people around me, as well as I'm going to recruit some other crew members to build a small team. They're going to be able to assist me with it as well.
Okay.
But I just stay prayed up, and my whole thing is staying committed. So
Exactly.
I made a goal for myself, and I know that I'm gonna do it. So whether I have to do it by myself or I get help with it, either way it goes, I'm gonna accomplish it. So
Sounds good.
I just had to stay committed to it, and I had to just do it, basically.
I admire your passion with that. We did notice that you're implementing something that's new. I know it's new to me and new to a lot of other people. The NFT concept.
Right.
The concept of an NFT payment model where cast and crew, they receive a percentage in royalties for the film indefinitely. And that's groundbreaking. So how did you come up with the sustainable and equitable financial model for that?
Well, one way is because right now they're going through a strike with Hollywood.
Right.
And I also wanted to give actors and crew ownership of the actual project itself. So it's not just my movie. I wanted it to be our movie. I wanted it to be our thing.
Okay.
So that was one reason that I wanted to do the NFT model, as well as give them, royalties forever. And then what that also do is that also motivate the crew members and the cast to give their all and to promote it as well, because we're all in this together. Right. It's all our project. It's not just it's not just my project. It's not just my thing. So being that, I just thought that they'll be motivational for the cast and crew as well as myself. And they'll make it a team effort instead of just it being all me. And I reap all the benefits. I want everybody as part of it to reap all the benefits. And I know it's kind of different because we aren't getting paid up front.
Right.
However, I think that after this, once I believe it's do well. So I would use this to actually finance my next film and my next project. Right. Where I am able to pay people up front as well as do the same thing and give them lifetime royalties also.
Awesome. It's pretty impressive. Thanks for that breakdown there. All right. Let's say, given the outgoing actors, we talked about the Hollywood thing as far as the strike and everything that's going on. Right. How has this affected you and what you're doing? You're an independent filmmaker, especially as you work on your ambitions and this project. This is an ambitious project, Gammon. So has that affected you in any way with your upcoming Gammon project?
It hasn't affected me really per se, but it's actually gave me, I feel like, a lot more ability, like opportunity, just to just to make the movie myself, because I don't have to go through a main producer. I don't have to listen to a main company or anything like that. So even if they're going through a strike, I can still do everything myself if I need to.
Right.
So I feel like just being an independent filmmaker and being able to do things myself and create my own rules, create my own way, it gives me a little bit more freedom. So I don't have to worry about any strikes or anything like that.
Nice.
So I think right now is the opportunity for all independent filmmakers to be able to create while they aren't even creating, main productions.
Right, exactly. Well, that's good. Then you find a way to weed through that and work around that.
Yes, sir. So just like with COVID,
Yes.
When a lot of things were shut down, that was a time where creators were able to express themselves and still put out content when other main companies weren't able to.
Okay.
So I feel like it's just giving us opportunity, just an opportunity.
Yes.
To do you and be creative. So I'm trying to take advantage of that opportunity as well.
That's good. You really are. You're doing it. It's most impressive. A filmmaker. You're known as an auteur.
Yes, sir.
Auteur filmmaker. You're taking on multiple roles, man. Producing, acting. You're doing it all.
Right.
How do you maintain a cohesive vision for your projects while wearing so many hats? Which you do wear many.
Right. Well, what I do is I take input from anybody. Like I listen to anybody, whether it be the smallest person in the room or the biggest person in the room. I listen to anybody. Listen to all kind of criticism, recommendations. So even though I'm doing majority of the filming and writing and everything myself, if anybody have any suggestions or anything like that, I'm gonna take it into consideration. I'm not the kind of person where I'm like, well, now I'm not just gonna listen to it all. I might not do it,
Exactly.
but I'm gonna listen to it and I'm gonna consider it.
Okay.
Now if a number of people say, hey, nah, this is not what we want to do, of course I'm gonna go with majority, unless it's just something that I feel like we really shouldn't do. But I'm all about teamwork. I'm all about everybody expressing themselves how they want to express themselves. As far as just like with the actors, I wrote the script, so I'm giving them free ability to tweak it how they want to tweak it,
Right.
create the character how they want to create it. I'm not putting them in a box and say, okay, I want you to be this way, I want you to be that way. You have the ability to actually make it your own.
Right.
And I'm all about just having you create it and make it your own, because that's gonna make the movie even better.
Right.
Once you're gonna get you more involved in it as well. So
Okay.
I'm all about that.
Excuse me, that's most humbling there. That's a humble approach that you're taking towards it. You're doing all this, wearing all these many hats for Gammon and your other projects, doing almost everything. It's a colossal task. What drives you and takes on such a multifaceted role, and how do you manage the workload and the responsibilities in addition to it? What you've already told us.
I just try to stay organized. Try to schedule out everything that I need to do. So right now I'm just going through and actually making a detailed schedule of what I need to do, when I need to do it, and what I need. So I just try to stay organized, and that to me that helps me out a lot.
It can be challenging, I guess.
Oh yeah, definitely challenging. It's a lot of stuff, but somebody has to do it.
Exactly. Might as well be you.
Right, might as well.
There you
Yes,
go.
sir.
All right, let's look ahead a little bit here. Okay, with Gammon being such an ambitious project, what are your hopes and your aspirations for the reception? How do you want it to impact? What impact do you want it to have, rather?
Yeah, I have high hopes for it. Not just because it's my movie, but just because of the way that I'm going about it, the kind of film it is. I actually think, and I hope that it'll actually change the way people view films altogether.
Right.
As far as the model where you're able to decide the outcome and actually it's kind of put you in the director's seat as well.
Right.
And let you make the decisions.
Okay.
So I just want to change the way films are being watched. Because I know growing up, I always watched the movie and say, well, I wish they did it this way. Or I wish they did that way.
Right.
But you never had the opportunity to.
You're right.
So now you're able to actually choose, and then you can see the impact that your decisions have on the actual character. It's kind of complex, but I believe that to me, I love it. Like if I could watch my favorite TV show and decide what the main character does, I'll be more involved in it.
Right.
Definitely. So I think Yeah, I think the impact, I believe, hopefully, I believe it's going to impact a lot. It's going to change the way films are watched, the way films are made, and the way films are financed as well.
Okay. Sounds good. All right, with that being said, are there any other innovative film or music projects that you're considering working on in the future?
Yes, sir. So I have some TV shows coming out.
Okay.
I have a sitcom that I'm very loosely based on my life as well coming out.
Okay.
Called the Buck Sitcom. That's the unofficial title right now.
Okay.
So I have that. I have a cartoon I'm planning on working on as well.
Okay.
Kind of detailing my journey to LA after I won the film contest.
Right.
And just being in LA is being a rapper, being a director, and being in that environment. So I have a cartoon coming out as well. Then I have a drama, like a crime drama coming out too that I'm working on, based in Mobile. So majority of my shows and movies right now, I'm basing it in this area in Mobile.
Okay.
Because like I said, I love our community. And I feel like Mobile right now, as far as music and media and film and everything like that, we could be like the next epicenter of media. If we really, because we have so many talented people here, from rappers to actors to directors to filmmakers. Like we could actually be the next like Atlanta.
Okay.
So that's my goal, is to bring the focus more on Mobile, as well as because they film a lot of films here too now recently.
Right.
So that's my goal, just bring more business to Mobile and to my community.
Okay. Pretty impressive. That consistency is going to pay off, and it's looking good. Let's reflect on something here. Reflecting on your journey from your earlier years in Trinity Gardens to your current endeavors. What advice would you offer to young artists aiming to break boundaries in this field and in other fields that are attached or connected to what you're doing right now?
My main advice is to stay committed. Like if you have a goal, you have a dream, stay committed. Nowadays with technology, you can do whatever you want to do. Like you can create your own film with your phone.
Right.
Like you don't need a professional camera. You can create it with your phone. You can record music on. You can do pretty much anything that you want to do, and it doesn't have to cost that much money to do it. So my main thing is just stay committed with your goal, and if you have a dream, stay with it, and don't let anybody tell you no. If they tell you no, then just do it yourself.
Right.
They have so many YouTube videos, so much information out on the internet right now. There's no reason for you not to be able to learn to do what you don't know how to do. So if you aren't able to get a crew or aren't able to find other people willing to assist you with your dream, do it yourself. It's going to be more work, but it'll all come out. It'll all benefit you at the end, I believe.
Okay.
So that's my approach I took anyway.
Okay.
Because whether I'm by myself or not, then I would always say I could do it by myself with God's help, but it'd be better if I had a team with the same dream.
Right.
Yeah, so that's my motivation.
Okay. I feel motivated by that right now, so that's good advice for any other upcoming artists that want to get into that field. That's good. That sounds good. So authenticity, it seems to be your core value in your work, and it's most commendable for that. I want to commend you on that. So how do you ensure that projects, especially ones deeply rooted in personal experiences like Gammon, what we're talking about here, remain genuine and true to your vision? How do you do that?
Like I said, I just try to be realistic as possible, and try to not speak on too many things that I don't know personally.
Right.
I usually write or talk about things that I've seen or lived through myself.
Right.
Personal experiences, or if I know somebody else that lived through it and I've talked to them, I try to do it that. But I try to be as original as possible, and just try to stick to the core and stick to the truth as much as possible. Of course, you might add a little razzle dazzle in there, to make it more entertaining.
Yes.
But I always try to stick to that core of whatever I'm doing.
Okay. Very impressive. It was actually an honor to sit here and talk to you about everything that you have going on, and we're going to try to definitely stay connected and close to what you're doing. You're highlighting a lot of things in the community, and your work is unmatched. So we really appreciate your contribution to the community and to the film world. Exactly. So you've gone far. You've had a lot of a lot of things that you've done.
Right.
And we want to commend you for it, and it was definitely worth having a royal conversation, because that's what you deserve. You deserve royalty for your contribution to the community.
Thank you.
And we want to tell you that we appreciate you for that.
Appreciate you. Thank you for having me.
Definitely. It was an honor to have you. We look forward to having you again on your upcoming projects.
Oh, most definitely.
All right, sounds good.
Thank you.
Okay, with all these projects that you have going on, which is very impressive, let everybody know how can they connect with you, if maybe they want to, be a part of the casting call, or
Right.
be involved in the movie. We mentioned the NFTs.
Mm-hmm.
How can people connect with you so that they can hone in on what you have going on and be a part of it?
Well, you can find me on social media at Bama Boy Buck. That's on Facebook / Bama Boy Buck, Instagram Bama Boy Buck. It's really Bama Boy Buck on everything.
Okay.
So you type me in Google, it'll bring up all my contacts, information, and everything like that. As far as the casting call, we are having one more casting call coming up.
Okay.
And I'm also going to start recruiting people for the crew as well.
Okay.
And so that's one thing. I'll have all the information on my Facebook and on my YouTube.
Okay, honorable. That's good. This is a great conversation we had here. We look forward to seeing what you do further in your community. We're looking forward for that movie, Cammy.
Thank
We
you.
want to see that come out, and we want to see it grow.
Sure. Thank you.
And you have our support.
Thank you. Thank you so
All right.
much.
Definitely. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Definitely. Thank you everyone for tuning in to episode 2 of Creole Luxe's Royal Conversations.